Good afternoon. This is your board report from the board meeting, which was on February 25th, 2019. After we got started our meeting at 5:30, we had all 5 board members present. And after that, the first thing that we did was we recognized the folks who are helping us get our truancy board off the ground. Mr. Hyder is leading that, so we recognized him. And then Jody Smith, Jake Dickerson, Chuck Boyer, and Denise Bishop, all who are helping us out with the truancy board. Jody and Jake were there to be recognized. Then we moved on into our meeting. Had to make a slight adjustment to the minutes from last meeting. There's a typo that we missed in putting those together, so we fixed that. Then we went on to reports. We entertained a presentation from the group called Piper Jaffray, who help out districts with bonds and levies. We are looking at the possibility of trying to increase revenue to improve our facilities, and so they provided us with some information. And then after that, Mr. Hyder did a presentation on first semester grades and where we are at with regards to improvement from last year to this year. And then Tanya did her normal financial status, continue to be in good stead there, and we're well on our way. Moved on to the consent agenda, approved of all the transactions business-wise, and then also the hiring of Jessica Swift as the assistant fast pitch coach, and also the resignations of both Bernard McDevitt and Jennifer Bradley. They won't be returning with us next year. There's no community there by that time, so we moved on to old business. Provided the board with some information. They wanted some information about year-round school and what that could look like. So we did a little bit of research and provided them with some articles around that. We had a conversation around policy 3144, which is the release of information concerning student sexual and kidnapping offenders. There was some consternation around that, and so we made some changes, or we had a conversation around that, but that ended up being passed 4-1, with Jen being the dissenting vote on that. Then we went to board elections. They elected their committees. So Joe Reed will serve as our facilities committee chair. JJ Shortman will serve as the WIA rep, and Jen stayed on as the legislative rep. So those are the board committees going into this next year. Then they had 6 other second reads of policy updates that we needed to do. They pulled one out that we're going to take a look at and have a conversation about at the next workshop. The rest of them they passed and put into place. Then we moved on to new business. They made the recommendation to do a workshop at the tribal center, or actually a board meeting so either April or May's board meetings will be at the tribal center. We're going to work on figuring that out, and then we'll make a formal motion on that in March. Gave them a brief legislative update and kind of where things were on different bills and that sort of thing, as we've been keeping up on that. We talked about some budget parameters that we were asking the board to provide for us. We actually did that prior to the Piper Jaffray presentation, because they kind of went hand in hand. And then we talked, and we're going to do a lot more budget planning over the next couple months. So there will be a lot of talk of finance. Then we reminded the board of some of their responsibilities with regards to financial affairs disclosure piece that is required for any public official, and that the next election is going to come up. We did go into executive session briefly to discuss a couple of personnel matters, and then came back out of that, and we were done right at 8 o'clock on the dot. So let us know as always, let us know if you have any questions. Otherwise, that's your board report for February 25th, 2019. Thanks.